In an era where convenience and modernity dominate daily life, synthetic chemicals known as phthalates have quietly infiltrated nearly every aspect of human existence. These compounds, often referred to as everywhere chemicals, are embedded in countless consumer products, from food storage containers and children's toys to personal care items like shampoo and perfume. While their purpose is to enhance the flexibility and durability of plastics or prolong the scent of fragrances, phthalates carry a darker side, one that scientists are increasingly uncovering. Recent research has revealed that these ubiquitous chemicals may be contributing to a significant portion of global mortality, particularly from cardiovascular disease, marking them as a silent yet pervasive threat to public health. Phthalates exert their harmful effects by disrupting the body's natural hormonal balance. One of their most alarming impacts is their ability to interfere with testosterone, a hormone critical for both male and female health. In men, low testosterone levels serve as a predictor of adult cardiovascular disease, a condition that remains one of the leading causes of death worldwide. The disruption caused by phthalates does not stop there. These chemicals also trigger inflammation within the coronary arteries, accelerating existing heart conditions and potentially leading to severe outcomes, including premature death. Beyond cardiovascular issues, phthalates have been linked to a host of other health problems, ranging from reproductive harm and neurodevelopmental disorders to asthma, obesity, and even cancer. This wide-ranging impact underscores the gravity of the threat posed by these chemicals, which are so deeply woven into the fabric of modern life. The study that brought this issue to light analyzed data spanning numerous countries and regions, painting a comprehensive picture of phthalate exposure on a global scale. It focused specifically on one type of phthalate, D2-ethylhexyl phthalate, DHP, which is commonly used in plastics and other industrial applications. By examining population surveys that included urine samples containing chemical breakdown products left by DHP, researchers were able to estimate the extent of human exposure. The findings revealed that DHP exposure is not confined to specific regions or demographics but is instead a widespread phenomenon affecting populations across continents. Certain regions, however, bear a disproportionate burden of the health consequences associated with phthalate exposure. For instance, Africa accounted for a significant share of heart disease-related deaths linked to DHP, highlighting the vulnerability of communities in this part of the world. Similarly, East Asia and the Middle East also reported high mortality rates tied to DHP exposure. These regional disparities can be attributed to a combination of factors, including differences in industrial practices, regulatory frameworks, and access to healthcare. In some areas, the lack of stringent regulations allows for higher levels of phthalate contamination in consumer products, while limited access to medical care exacerbates the health risks posed by these chemicals. The study's findings underscore the urgent need for a coordinated global response to address this growing public health crisis. Understanding how phthalates wreak havoc on the human body requires delving into their interactions with biological systems. At the core of their harmful effects lies their ability to disrupt endocrine function, particularly by interfering with testosterone production. Testosterone plays a pivotal role in maintaining cardiovascular health, regulating metabolism, and supporting overall physiological balance. When phthalates enter the body, they mimic or block hormones, leading to a cascade of disruptions. For men, this hormonal interference often manifests as reduced testosterone levels, a condition that has been strongly associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Women, too, are affected, as testosterone is essential for bone density, muscle strength, and overall vitality. The suppression of this hormone creates a ripple effect, weakening the body's defenses against chronic illnesses. Beyond their impact on hormones, phthalates also contribute to systemic inflammation, a key driver of cardiovascular disease. Once absorbed into the bloodstream, these chemicals can penetrate the delicate lining of blood vessels, triggering inflammatory responses. Over time, this inflammation damages the coronary arteries, causing them to narrow and harden. Such changes restrict blood flow to the heart, increasing the likelihood of heart attacks and other acute cardiovascular events. The dual assault of hormonal disruption and arterial inflammation creates a perfect storm, accelerating the progression of existing heart conditions and elevating the risk of mortality. This insidious mechanism explains why phthalate exposure is so closely tied to cardiovascular-related deaths, particularly among middle-aged adults who may already be grappling with age-related health challenges. While the cardiovascular dangers of phthalates have captured significant attention, these chemicals pose an even broader array of health threats that extend far beyond heart disease. Reproductive health, in particular, is profoundly affected by phthalate exposure. Studies have consistently shown that these chemicals can lead to genital malformations in newborn boys, such as undescended testes, and are associated with lower sperm counts and reduced fertility in adult males. In women, phthalates have been linked to menstrual irregularities and complications during pregnancy, including preterm births. These reproductive harms are especially concerning given their potential to affect future generations, perpetuating cycles of health vulnerabilities. Neurodevelopmental issues represent another alarming consequence of phthalate exposure. Research indicates that when pregnant individuals are exposed to these chemicals, their unborn children face an elevated risk of cognitive and behavioral problems. These effects can manifest as learning disabilities, attention deficits, and impaired motor skills, all of which can hinder a child's ability to thrive academically and socially. Furthermore, phthalates have been implicated in the rising prevalence of asthma, childhood obesity, and certain types of cancer. For example, their ability to disrupt metabolic processes may contribute to weight gain and insulin resistance, while their carcinogenic properties raise concerns about long-term cancer risks. Collectively, these findings paint a troubling picture of phthalates as a multifaceted threat to human health, affecting virtually every stage of life from conception to old age. Given the pervasive presence of phthalates in daily life, taking proactive measures to minimize exposure is crucial for safeguarding health. One of the most effective strategies is reducing reliance on plastic products, particularly those used for food storage and preparation. Opting for alternatives such as glass, stainless steel, ceramic, or wood can significantly lower the risk of ingesting phthalates. It is equally important to avoid microwaving or dishwashing plastic containers, as heat accelerates the breakdown of these materials, releasing harmful chemicals into food and beverages. For those seeking convenience, choosing products labeled as phthalate-free can provide an additional layer of protection. Personal care items represent another major source of phthalate exposure, particularly through fragrances. Many lotions, shampoos, and cosmetics contain these chemicals to enhance scent longevity, making it essential to select unscented or naturally scented options whenever possible. Similarly, cleaning supplies with strong artificial fragrances should be replaced with fragrance-free alternatives or homemade solutions using simple ingredients like vinegar and baking soda. Fresh or frozen produce offers a safer alternative to canned and processed foods, which often come packaged in phthalate-laden materials. Finally, frequent handwashing can help remove chemical residues from the skin, reducing the likelihood of accidental ingestion. By adopting these practical steps, individuals can take meaningful action to protect themselves and their families from the hidden dangers of phthalates. The health repercussions of phthalate exposure extend far beyond individual suffering, creating a profound economic and societal burden. Premature deaths linked to these chemicals result in lost productivity, leaving families without breadwinners and economies deprived of skilled workers. Healthcare systems also bear the brunt of the costs, as treating chronic conditions like cardiovascular disease, reproductive disorders, and neurodevelopmental issues demand significant resources. Hospitals and clinics must allocate funds for extended care, specialized treatments, and advanced diagnostic tools, diverting resources from other critical areas of public health. Moreover, the ripple effects of phthalate-related illnesses strain social services, as affected individuals may require disability support, unemployment benefits, or caregiving assistance. This cumulative financial toll highlights the urgent need for preventive measures and stricter regulatory frameworks to mitigate the widespread impact of these harmful chemicals. The chemical industry, represented by organizations such as the American Chemistry Council, has historically downplayed the risks associated with phthalates, emphasizing instead their utility in manufacturing and product development. Advocates for continued use argue that phthalates play an indispensable role in enhancing the flexibility, durability, and cost-effectiveness of plastics, thereby supporting industries ranging from healthcare to construction. However, this stance has drawn sharp criticism from environmental and public health advocates, who contend that the documented harms far outweigh any perceived benefits. Critics point to the mounting scientific evidence linking phthalates to severe health outcomes, arguing that the industry's reluctance to adopt safer alternatives reflects a prioritization of profit over public welfare. Regulatory bodies face significant challenges in addressing this issue due to the complex interplay of economic interests, scientific uncertainty, and political pressures. While some regions, such as the European Union, have implemented stringent restrictions on certain phthalates, others lag behind, leaving consumers vulnerable to inconsistent protections. Calls for transparency have grown louder, with advocacy groups urging manufacturers to disclose the presence of phthalates in consumer products and governments to enforce labeling requirements. Despite these efforts, progress remains uneven, underscoring the need for a unified global approach to regulate these hazardous chemicals effectively. The pervasive presence of phthalates in everyday products underscores the importance of raising public awareness about their dangers. Educating consumers on how to identify and avoid these chemicals empowers individuals to make informed choices, reducing their exposure and protecting their health. Simultaneously, fostering a culture of accountability among manufacturers and policymakers is essential for driving systemic change. By prioritizing transparency, advocating for safer alternatives, and implementing stricter regulations, society can begin to dismantle the structures that allow phthalates to endanger lives. Only through collective action can this silent threat be neutralized, paving the way for a healthier and more sustainable future. As we wrap up this deep dive into the hidden dangers of phthalates, it's clear that these chemicals are more than just a scientific concern. They're a real and present threat to our health and well-being. From cardiovascular disease to reproductive harm, neurodevelopmental issues, and even cancer, the risks posed by phthalates are too significant to ignore. But here's the good news: knowledge is power. By understanding where these chemicals lurk and how they affect us, we can take meaningful steps to protect ourselves and our loved ones. If you found this video eye-opening, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others. It's a small action that can make a big difference in spreading awareness. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, where we explore critical topics that impact your health and the world around you. Let's work together to demand safer products, push for stronger regulations, and create a healthier future for everyone. Because when it comes to protecting our health, every choice matters. Thanks for watching.